Now, imagine this collector's surprise when I walked into my local Walmart and saw sitting on the pegs Wave 2 of the G.I. Joe Retro collection sitting there just waiting for me to pick them up and purchase them. Now, normally this would be a triumphant score. You know, these were just announced a few days ago at Hasbro PulseCon, and technically they're not even supposed to come out until 2021 according to Walmart's website. This would be great if it wasn't for the fact that I'm still waiting on my Wave 1 pre-orders from Walmart.com.
No! How could they? They do this to me!
But, you know, that's 2020 in a nutshell, I guess, as far as distribution. But regardless, let's go ahead and open these bad boys up and see how Hasbro did with Wave 2 of the G.I. Joe Retro collection. Alright, here we got Roadblock. So examine him up close. Nice sculpt and face details on him. He's got this tactical flak jacket. It is removable. Open up the sides there, slide it off over the top. Got the knee pads, gloves. As far as articulation, so his head spins all the way around, Exorcist style. It's as far up as he's going to look. It's as far down as he's going to look. He does have a hinge in his shoulder, so you can raise his arms up. You also have 360 swivel at the shoulder. You have a single hinge at the elbow. And then you've got 360 swivel at the wrist. There is no hinge, so the wrist is not going to bend inward or outwards. And then you do have a ab crunch, although it is being kind of restricted by his flak jacket there, but you can see he does have a waist bend, so you can bend him forward. He does have 360 rotation at the waist, the legs, so he can kick that far forward, that far backwards. He has a single joint of the knee, and then he's got ball joints in the hips, so you can ballet dance his legs outwards. He does not have any rotation or pivot at his boots at all, so from the knee down it's all solid one piece. You're not going to get any kind of manipulation or articulation. He does have 2 peg holes at the bottom of his feet, but overall I think he's a great looking figure. He's got the hole in the back of his jacket for accessories and ammunition or whatever tactical items you want to place with him. But I really like these, you know, these old meets new retro releases. We got that vintage style card back, we got, you know, updated face sculpts, we got added points of articulation, we got nice detailed accessories, some of them are removable, and we also get some other accessories in the package. So each one of these retro collection figures does come with their own little peg stand. Each one has their name on the front, and of course the classic G.I. Joe logo. And then Roadblock, of course, would not be a man without his massive weapon stash and collection. He's got this giant rifle here. This is removable, this little kickstand. And then he also comes with this massive 50 cal gun. It comes in several pieces when you get it out of the package. So the way it comes, you get a barrel. Gonna put the barrel, there's a little notch there. Make sure the barrel lines up with that. Get that notch in line. You're gonna put it inside the gun. Come on, snap on there. Alright, and we have the handled base. And then lastly, the ammunition rounds themselves, they only slide into one side of the gun, this side, and they do not go all the way through. So this side is actually cut shorter. This side is cut more open, so you can put the ammunition into this side and pose it accordingly. So very cool accessories for Roadblock. And to go ahead and partner him up with his classified figure. Oh, he falls down. As you can tell, very teeny tiny, obviously 3 3/4 versus 6-inch scale, but when we look at him up close, you can tell Hasbro did a really good job of replicating the face sculpts and the major details. No tattoos on the 3 3/4 scale, whereas the classified series, he's got a giant lion tattoo there on his left shoulder and bicep. These are supposed to be new meets old and have, you know, the look of the old toys, whereas this classified series is much more new and different styles and costume designs. Next up we have Scarlett, of course, and she is a little bit different than Roadblock because she's got some extra articulation, which I thought was very interesting. But head moves It doesn't really move up, let's be honest. The ponytail gets in the way. I mean, that's as much rotation and articulation you get as far as her head pivoting up and down. It does spin. Oh my god, I killed her. It does spin around, I promise you. There we go. Oh man, that was frightening. But shoulders do move up, elbow, single bend, wrist, everything up top is going to be the same as Roadblock. She does pivot 360 degrees at the upper torso. Same leg and everything as Roadblock. But here's where it gets interesting because she has a double jointed knee. So you can get her leg to bend in all sorts of crazy positions. And she also has some lower boot articulation. So you've got a hinge, pivot the foot up, down quite a bit. And then you also have a 360 swivel at the boots. So that is her articulation. Again, a little bit different than Roadblock's. Still no wrist hinges or anything like that. Face sculpt. It's a nice classic looking Scarlett design. Costume, everything very reminiscent of the original retro figure. She comes, of course, with her peg stand with her nameplate and everything. She also comes with this tactical vest that unclasps here in the front. You just slap that open, throw this tactical vest over her shoulders, and you're good to go. She also has her arrow quiver. Kind of have to move her ponytail a little bit there. Goes in the open peg hole. And then, of course, she comes with her trusty crossbow. Stark contrast between the classified and the retro-looking vintage toy that we've got this based on, especially with the hair color. You know, Scarlett's got bright orange hair here, where it's a much more toned down on the classified. Face details, everything's going to be a little bit different. She's got the red lipstick for, you know, her namesake and everything like that. So if you're not a fan of the classified series, I know a lot of people are kind of hit and miss with the costuming of this classified series line, then definitely the 3 3/4 retro collection Scarlett is going to be something that you're going to be after. And then lastly, of course, we have Destro, and I think they did an absolute amazing job with the paint detail, especially on it being a 3 3/4 figure. It is not exactly as shiny chrome as the classified series, but it's still very impressive for being a detailed little 3 3/4 figure, especially with the cubic jagged lines on his face and everything. It's got that very Picasso-esque face detail. Of course, he's got his dog collar as well as his necklace, the raised up collar, so you can rotate his head a little bit left and right, but you're not going to be able to spin it all the way around because of that collar. And as far as his head pivoting up and down, well, you're not really going to get any of that at all. This is interesting because all three of these figures have slightly different forms of articulation overall. His shoulder is going to be the same thing. He's got that hinge at the shoulder as well as the 360 rotation, hinge at the elbow, 360 swivel of the hand. But this is where it differs from both Roadblock and Scarlett, is he actually has a hinge on his wrist. So he can bend the wrist inward and outward on both wrists. So that is interesting to say the least, because like I said, the other figures don't have that form of articulation. He does have a significant ab crunch. Get him bending forward, get him bending backwards, and then his legs are relatively the same. You know, kick him far forward, kick him far backward. He does have a double jointed knee just like Scarlett, but you know, like Roadblock, he's got a single jointed knee. So again, we get some similarities and some differences when it comes to the articulation. And again, just like Scarlett, he has some added feet articulation. So he's got a hinge where you can flex his foot backward and forward quite a bit, as well as a little bit side to side, but you cannot rotate it all the way around. And of course, he does have the 2 peg holes at the bottom of his foot to go into his Destro figure stand that has the Cobra insignia on it, and again has the peg that are staggered. And it looks like I got a factory error here because it looks like the peg has been broken off on that, but I think that'll be okay. I don't think I'll have an issue having Destro stand up. As far as his accessories, he comes with a weapons briefcase, quite large actually in comparison to Destro himself. Throw in his weapons because he comes with a build-it-yourself rifle. So it comes with the main body of the rifle. Going to install the butt of the gun. And it comes with a little bitty piece for the scope. You're going to slide it in there in the top. There we go. And then lastly, we're going to put the little tripod base of the gun itself there. One thing I do wish is that they would have sprung and put a Cobra insignia on the weapons briefcase, because that would have put him much more in line with his classified figured counterpart. Comes with a briefcase, has the Cobra insignia. But as you can tell, comparing them, they look really great together. Classified series again has a much more metallic, shinier, glossy paint than the 3 3/4 figure, but overall, you know, he's the most close to form as far as the classified and the retro. They both look very similar to each other, because in reality, I mean, Destro's costume is iconic and you don't really want to mess with it a whole heck of a lot. So fantastic job from Hasbro on both the classified and the 3 3/4 retro figure, in my opinion.
That does it for today's unboxing and review video. Hope you enjoyed the content. If you found the information helpful, make sure you hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and also if you're interested in pre-ordering or picking up any of these Walmart exclusive retro collection G.I. Joe figures, well, I'll put lots of pre-order links and links down in the video description box below. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. It really means a lot.